Welcome back. You watch Your Morning Live. Thank you very much for staying with us now. An exciting new Afrikaans musical is coming to Pieter Toerien's Montecasino Studio Theatre. The musical, which opens on the 6th of July for a 6-week run, is based on a hit film by Pierre de Wet, Altyd and My Drome. Here to tell us more on the production is Neels Clasen, the director of the show, and Michelle Botha, one of the actresses. Guys, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, so a lot of people don't know what this hit film is all about. Very quickly, Neil, if you can, just give us some background to Pierre de Wet's film.
Okay, so it's basically about two mythical characters, Cupid or Cupido and Klasvaki, Mrs. Sandwoman.
Klasvaki.
Yeah, that basically change roles. Okay. And Klasvaki, played by Michelle, is not necessarily the best shot. Okay. And so she hits a guy called Ben, who falls head over heels in love with the character of Rita. He falls in love to the extent that he starts dreaming up romantic songs in his sleep. And his friend and tour leader of this touring company starts writing them down and recording it. And our antagonist, Mr. Marais, who's a very famous record producer, tries to capitalize on this and forces Fani to make Ben dream more and more and more, with very comic results.
You know when Neels talks that, he's got this animated thing about it. So this must be so much fun, Michelle, because I know there's a lot of hard work that gets the comedic timing right. But, as a cast, how do you, I know the director's got to lead it, but how do you find that formula where everything's on cue, comedy and the timing is right, the music elements are right? It's a lot to consider, isn't it?
Yes, it is a lot to consider. It's lots of hard work, 24/7. But with Neels at the head, it was quite relaxed environment so that we could come up with things to add to his directing or his vision. So it was great fun.
What was the directive from the leader to you guys? Because obviously as actors and you've got to interpret this message and create a character that's nuanced and people will relate to it or not like it, but you've got to kind of find yourself in that character.
Yes, that's true, but that's why it's necessary to have a relaxed environment. Because the moment that you're stressed, you can't actually you're not open to actually just create. And that's what Neels and Kwesi's productions, they do it very well. Create a relaxed environment where everybody has input, that it's not just one-sided or this is how the character should be, that there's a communication between the director and the actors, and then it just develops and evolves and becomes bigger and becomes great.
You're the chef, so you've got to find all the right ingredients, you've got to put them together in a pot, and hopefully somebody that comes and experiences this is going to love it. What is that formula? Because what is your direction to your cast to say, guys, we've got to create something that is going to resonate, because this is based off something that people already know.
Yes. I think the biggest thing is for the cast to truly understand the story, what we're driving at. And most certainly to kind of have fun, to take these characters, because I have a certain idea about what it should be. But it's really when it gets on the floor and people start kind of workshopping ideas that we come up with something that I think would be accessible to a larger audience. Because it's not one person trying to figure this out. There's a whole company of people kind of going, but I think the audience might like this more. Or and then obviously to try and work in as many comic devices as you possibly can to really keep it light and fluffy and bubbling from beginning to end. And obviously it's a musical. There were definite songs that we kept, but also we created some more songs in keeping with that 1950s style, Afrikaans style. So that was very exciting, and I think people coming to see it will certainly kind of feel something of an age that we almost don't remember anymore.
Yeah. But you know, this is the thing though, you're working with something that was a hit as a film.
Yes.
What kind of pressure do you deal with? Because what you don't want is the person who's seen the film, love it, come and watch this, and then go, I don't like this.
Yes. Look, I think it's a new slant on an old movie. This movie was created in 1952.
Yeah.
So you can't necessarily stick to it.
You have to adapt it for stage.
Yes. And that's definitely a challenge, to kind of go from a film where you can jump location from one shot to the other.
And in edit, you can fix anything.
Yes,
Yes,
totally.
exactly.
And now it's one continuous kind of thing from beginning to end, and you have to come up with very interesting ideas to jump location or jump time.
Yeah.
A jump from the clouds where Klasvaki and Kupiru
I love that, Klasvaki.
are in to an environment that is down on the ground. You know, there's a bus sequence, for example, and so all of these things you have to kind of physicalize. But that's where the fun lies. That I think that is what audiences will really love. You know, and it's very colourful and very bubbling with fantastic
Moves the whole time.
Yes,
So it's
fantastic
quite
music.
basic. I love that. So, okay, Neels Clasen is the director of the show. It's called Altyd, My Drome. Michelle Botha, she's one of the actresses. She's one of the leads in what I can only tell you is a must-see. Go and check it out. It's at Pieter Toerien's Montecasino studio. Take your family, take your friends, even take your enemy. Go and check it out.
Yes.
Maybe this show will bring you guys together. Our performance guy, our first music guest, is standing by with a second performance.